Okay, so I'm going to attempt to take the digital SAT, at least module 1 of the math portion. That is the computer adaptive part, where depending on your score, you either get a higher difficulty second module or a lower difficulty second module. And I'm not exactly sure what the threshold is for the cutoff. I believe it's like 17 or 18 out of 22. I could be completely wrong. It might depend on the test that you get for module 1. But I'm going to take the module 1 test like I was taking it at a testing center. And I got a little help here from Luke. Luke's going to help me out. All I have is my reference sheet and a calculator, and then my timer. So let's get started. So I haven't seen this before, but I'm going to try to go at a pace that will, leave me with extra time. Let's see how it goes. All right, Luke, you ready? You ready? All right, number 1. All right, so we have, looks like system of equations. Nice, it even says system of equations. Solve for the y value. So what do? How do we solve this? It's the quickest way. Looks like I could add them together. So you can see what I'm writing here. I think this is how they intended for you to solve this. A little trick here is to add the two together. So, because I noticed that equals x, equals 1x. All right, 3/4 and 3/2, so that's 6/4, 9/4. Equals what, 30? How does that help me? I think I would use substitution in this case, because I can't eliminate. I think if you were going to add them together, you would want to eliminate one. And I'm using too much time on this first question. So I'm going to come back if there's time. All right, number 2. Or I could just put them in y equals mx plus b in the calculator and see at what y value they cross at. I'll think about that one though. System of equations, again, what is the value of x plus y? So here, I'm going to rewrite this as x equals negative 2y plus 8. So x equals negative 2y plus 8, then 3, substitute in the value of x, minus 2y equals 12. So then you have negative 6y plus 18 minus 2y equals 12. All right, let's combine like terms. Negative 8y. Let's bring the 18 to the other side. So subtract 18 from both sides, giving you negative 6. Divide by negative 8. We have y equals, simplify and get rid of the two negatives, 3/4. So if y equals 3/4, then what does x equal? And then what do they equal together? All right, so let's take this y equals 3/4, put it back into one that's easy to solve for, like the original, x plus 2y. Luke, you're making this hard. All right, so x plus 2 times 3/4 equals 8. 2 times 3/4, I know, is 1.5. Equals 8. Subtract 1.5 from each side. X equals 6.5. So we have 3/4 and 6.5. Add them together, you get 7.25. All right? Which is none of these answers. Weird. All right, so that didn't work out either. What's my time looking like? I got a little over 30 minutes. Which of the following is equivalent to the expression above? Looks like, so I'm thinking in my mind this is, you know, some sort of completing the square. Alright, it just spit up. But we'll see where this is going. Which one's equivalent? So I look at these answer choices. I see that there's an x squared value. So it looks like we are just expanding this. So x plus 3 times x plus 3 minus 12. Let's FOIL it. So you get x squared plus 6x plus 9 minus 12. Combine like terms, minus 3 plus 6x. Squared plus 6x minus 3. A would be A is my final answer. All right, number 4. The graph of the function. So you notice that I skipped 1 and 2, and I didn't let that slow me down. I'll come back to them with my extra time at the end. I'm pretty sure that I could solve them with more time. The graph of the function above has a y-intercept at y equals -2 and an x-intercept at x equals 2. So I'm just going to do a rough sketch here of just to get an idea what this. So if the y-intercept's at -2, so I know it crosses here, and the x-intercept is at 2, so I know it crosses there. And I know that it's a quadratic function, so it's probably doesn't have to do that, but it could do that. Just so I have an idea, and it looks like, what is the value of m? Well, it doesn't necessarily say this is a minimum, but what if it were? It's going up 2 over 2. I don't know how to solve that. At least not right now. Might come to me later. Melissa is 6 years younger than twice her sister's age. Okay, so Melissa is 6 years younger than twice her sister's age. Melissa is 24 years old. So Melissa is 24, and she is 6 years younger than twice her sister's age. So let's say her sister is capital S. So Melissa equals twice her sister's age minus 6. So 24 equals 2s minus 6. And that's an s, not a 5. I don't like to use s's on these just for that reason. Add 6 to both sides. 30 equals 2s, which means 15 equals s. So how old is Melissa's sister? We're going to go with B, final answer. All right, so I got 3 to come back to. My time is looking like not great. All right, so number 6. All right, in the function above, m and k are constants. F of 0 equals 3 and f of 2 equals 7. What is the value of f of negative 1/2? So if f of 0 equals 3, so if mx squared plus k, the only way for f of 0 to be equal to 3 is that, like, if x were 0, this would be 0. So this would be 3. So k is 3 in f of 0. So if k is 3, then f of 2 is m times 2 squared plus 3. And that has to equal 7. So m, so this is really 4m plus 3. Subtract my 3. 4 equals 4m. 1 equals m. Okay, so now I know the value of k is 3 and m is 1. So what's the value of negative 1/2? So f of negative 1/2 equals 1 times negative 1/2 squared plus 3. The 1 doesn't do anything. Negative 1/2 squared is positive 1/4 plus 3, which is 3 1/4. But their answers are in improper fraction form, so 3 1/4 is equivalent to, there's 12 fourths and 3 wholes plus 1/4, so there's 13 fourths is my answer. So C is my final answer here. All right, look at the time, 23 minutes, and I'm on number 7. I have 15 left. All right, got to pick up the pace. If x and y are positive integers and the square root of x equals y squared, which equals 9, then what is the value of x minus y? I think I can do this just in my head because y squared has to be, y would have to be 3 to equal 9. And x would have to be 81, and x minus y is 78, so I'm going to go with D. And if the answer's there, don't double check it, just move on. Especially if you're hurting for time. Alright, so now we have a crazy little design here. Yeah, Luke. You want to help? Luke helping? Yeah. Alright, you can help me with number 8. Let's see. Number 8. I love the geometry models. I definitely do. Alright, what is the value of x? Where is x? X is this big thing. Okay. Does it give us any other information? Heck no, it doesn't. Well, it looks like it's going to be 160. Oh, BA and DE, what is this symbol? Are parallel? Okay, well, weird. We got AB And then you have this 80-degree decline, and then a 20-degree, well, if this continued, this would be 80, which would make this 60. Okay, so if this is 60, then what is this? Huh. I don't see it. So let's look at it this way. This is 80. And this is 100. So I think it's 60. But that's not an answer. So that's 80. That's 20. That's 100. 120. Oh, this is 60, which makes this 120. D. That wasn't drawn great, but I don't have time to draw it clearly. Let's go to number 9. Hope you followed that. A little bit less than 20 minutes. Number 9. The function, okay, is graphed in the x, y coordinate plane above. Which of the following equations could describe f of x? Wow. So we have 3 points, 1, 2, 3. So it's going to be an x cubed, or, well, from what this looks like, the solutions to this graph are y equals 0 when x equals 4, 5, or 1. So in order to make that 0, you would have to have a. 4 would make it 0, 5 would make it 0, and 1 would make it 0. So A. It's without any work, just looking at it. Looking at the solutions. All right, number 10. Find the equation of the circle centered at, I love the circle ones. You just kind of have to know these. Okay, so if the circle center is at 1, -3, and it has a radius of 6, then this would go to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It would go out to here. It would go up to here. It would go out somewhere over there, like that. Here's your, roughly, the circle at negative, or at 1, +1, -3. Okay, so what's the equation of a circle look like? It's, you know, x plus something, x plus a, squared plus y plus b squared equals the radius squared. Well, I always remember it's backwards from what this is. Your x is going to be negative. It's going to be x minus 1 to put your center point at x equals 1. And your y will be y plus 3. And we're going to add these together. And then, of course, r6 squared is 36. Is that one of the answer choices? It is A. All right, 16 minutes left. Can we get it? Let's go. 11. All right, your values of I. So I know that I to the 4th equals -1. That's just something that I do know, because I is the square root of -1. I squared is -1. Or wait, it's +1. Good thing I did that. I would have screwed myself up. And then I forget what x to the 3rd is, but I don't think it matters right now. I just know that x squared, or I squared times I squared is I to the 4th. -1 times -1 is +1. So I know that I to the 24th is just 6 times I to the 4th. And if I to the 4th is 1, then 6 times I to the 4th is 1 also. And then I to the 36th. So is that divisible by 4? It is, so it's going to be 1 as well. And then I to the 52nd, that is also divisible by 4. So it's going to be 1 as well, and it looks like they're adding them all together. So B, 3 is my final answer here. See, we got 15 minutes. All right. What is the value of g of 3 equals g of x? Or wait, if g of x equals, okay, so g of 3. All right, I could plug this into a calculator. I'm going to try to avoid using the calculator at all, because I think that sometimes it is a trap. Sometimes you can use it to double check your answers, but I don't think I need it. 9 minus 9 plus 5 over 4. 9 minus 9 is 0, plus 5 is 5 over 4. 5 over 4, that's D. All right, next one. 13. All right, so I'm looking at this. I noticed that there's exponents. There's fractional exponents. There's weird stuff going on. Like, you might just say, I don't know, and skip this one. Which of the following is equivalent to the expression above, where x and y are positive integers? Okay, so I know my power rules that, you know, if you have something in the denominator, like x cubed over x squared, it's equivalent to x to the 3 minus 2, which is just x. So I know that you can subtract the powers. So here we have x to the 3/2 over x to that 1/2, so I can subtract those and I just get x to the 1. And then the other part is y to the 3/5 minus 1/5, which is y to the 2/5. So it is x times y to the 2/5, which is C. All right, number 14. 9 more questions, 12 minutes. This is going to be close. I'm not going to get to go back to the first 2. If there's one I don't know, I'll come back. I'm going to skip this one. I can already tell that this one is going to be tricky. I don't even want to waste my time reading it right now, because I won't get to some of the easier questions that could be right around the corner. So put a big square that I skipped number 14. Okay, the total fare of five child movie tickets and 1 adult, so let's say 5 kids and 1 adult, equals 80. Okay. If each child's fare is 1/3 of each adult's ticket, what is the cost for 1 child ticket? So an adult ticket's 3 times, so it's equivalent to buying 8 tickets for $80 if 1 adult ticket is 3 kids tickets. So it's like buying 3 kids tickets and 5 kids tickets, 8 tickets for $80. would be $10 each. A. All right, then we have number 16. All right, I like these. I like the geometry. All right, so AB is parallel to DE. AB is 8, BC is 6. Okay, so it looks like a 3, 4, 5 triangle where the base is 6, which is a multiple of 3. This is, so that's 3 doubled, 4 doubled, 5 doubled would be this. AC would be 10, but it's not asking that. It's finding DC plus EC. DC, which would be this part. Okay. So BC, weird, huh? AB is 8, BC is 6, DE is 4. I was like, I need some more information. So this is half. This triangle is similar to the other triangle, and it's at a scale of 2. So if this is 6, this is 3, this is 5. So they want to know DC plus EC, which would make this 3, which would make my answer 8. All right, let's go to number 17. Alright, if f of x equals x squared plus 2kx plus c and the vertex point is 1, 5, then find k and c. So there's a horizontal shift to the right and a vertical shift up. So my c value is going to be 5, and with the horizontal shift, it is opposite, I believe. So my k value would be -1. And -1 plus 5 is 4. B. All right, number 18. All right, 5 more questions. Oh, 8 minutes, 5 questions. I've skipped 2 or 3. 18. 1/2 x minus 2/3 y equals 20, and y is 15. So, okay, 1/2 x minus 2/3 of 15 equals 20. 2/3 of 15. Let's just multiply this out, is 10. Okay, so 1/2 x minus 10 equals 20. Add 10 to both sides. Half x equals 30, so x equals 60. And there is no, so it's a free answer, or a free response. All right, 19. If a equals 4, so a equals, all right, let me read the question. 4 square root 3 and 5a equals square root of 20x. What is the value of x? All right, we'll take you out. Okay. So if 5 times 4 square root 3 equals square root of 20x, then x equals the square root of 3, I think. Or x equals 3? Let's see. So it would be 20, and then 5 times the square root of 3. 20 times 5 times the square root of 3, which this is 100. square root of 3. Okay, so what gives me 100 squared is what, 10,000? So 10,000, the square root of 10,000 times 3, the square root of 30,000. So divided by 20, 30,000 divided by 20 is what? 3,000 over 2, or 1,500. All right, number 20. All right, if 5 minutes, a minus b equals 4, and a squared minus b squared equals 40, what is the value of a? Okay, looks like we have the difference of squares. So a plus b times a minus b equals 40. And we know a minus b equals 4, so a plus b equals, so this equals 4, so a plus b equals 10. Okay, but that doesn't give me what a is. We just know a minus b, so a plus b is 10, and a minus b is 4. Then a equals 4 plus b, so 4 plus 2b equals 10, or 10. Minus 4, you get 6, b equals 3. Alright, which makes a equal to 7. Alright, and then 21. Wow, Luke, you are tough too. You are a big distraction. Okay, O is the center of the circle. If OB equals AO, okay, equals 10, and BC equals 12, what is the area? Okay, so it looks like really it's a right triangle. I just flipped it this way. I took this one and kind of flipped it. So we know that the hypotenuse, which goes through the middle of the circle, is 20, and BC, the short edge, is 12. So it's a 3, 4, 5 triangle again. This is 3 times 4, 5 times 4, so 4 times 4, 16 is that side. Alright, what is the area of the triangle though? 1/2 the base times the height, which is 8 times 12, which is 80 times 80 plus 16, 96 units squared. What is the area of ACB? Okay, read it right. 2 minutes left, and 22. I haven't used the calculator or the reference sheet yet. I think they can help if you have extra time. If 1/2 x minus ay minus 8 equals 0, and the slope of the equation is 2/7, what is the value of a? What? Slope of the equation is 2/7. I don't know how to solve this. I would go back and try with my last two to solve the first 2 questions. And if not, guess. Take a wild guess. I'm going to use my calculator for this and plug it in. Okay, so we got 2/3 x plus 3/4. Oh, I gotta put it in y equals mx plus b form. Ah, monkeys. Alright. So 3/4 y equals negative 2/3 x plus 12 multiplied by 4/3. So multiply this by 4/3 and this by 4/3. Okay, you get negative 8/9 plus 48/3, which is 16. Okay, that's the first equation. Second equation is, this is the trap. This is a trap right here. I'm not even going to get to type it in, so I'm going to go ahead and guess. You know, my value for number 2 was around 7. The only one close to 7 is C, so I'm going to go with C. Number 1 we'll say was, I don't know, whatever. We'll go with D. 14 we'll say was C. And then that last one, 0. Why not? All right, we'll see what we got. Okay, break out my grading pen here. I am just, sometimes it's luck. Like honestly, sometimes luck helps. And just intuition. D was correct. C was correct. I totally guessed. Well, I made an educated guess. All right, 3 is A. 4, oh, I skipped it. And I didn't go back. And when in doubt, I always go with C when I don't know, and I would have gotten that one right. 5 is B. 6 is C. That is correct. 7D, correct. 8D, correct. 9A, correct. 10A, correct. 11B, correct. 12D, correct. 13C, correct. 14, I skipped it and didn't go back. I would have got that wrong. 15A, correct. 16D, correct. 17C, ooh, missed it. 18 is 60. Where's 18? I don't know how I missed 17. All right, 18 is 60. Correct. 19 is 60. Totally wrong. 1500 is not right. All right, 20 is 7. Correct. 21 is 96. Correct. And 22, 7/4. Wrong. Not 0. So I missed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So out of 22, I have scored 17, which is high enough to go to the harder version for the second module. Not as easy of a test as I thought it would be. A lot of distractions and a lot of careless errors. Not going back. You know, I thought I'd have more time. All right, so reflecting back on that, I could have easily gotten 15 out of 22, which is not, you know, for me, my goal. It's actually, you know, closer to 20 correct. on the first part. I actually am trying to get a perfect score, so 22 would be my ultimate goal. The things that I would need to do would be, to really practice with those system of equations. I noticed that there's tricky questions in the beginning, so maybe if they are tricky, skip them before you spend time on them. I happen to get them right, but that's not always going to be the case. Or a time-consuming question, and then go back at the end. The other thing was not going back to the questions that I did skip. I didn't even pick an answer choice, so I had no way of getting it correct if you don't guess anything. And then there are quicker ways to solve some of these that, looking back, you see it. But in the moment, you go with what you're comfortable with. And it's not always, the fastest method. So maybe going through and then finding a faster method and trying to incorporate that faster method into the next test. I can't redo this one because I've already seen it, but 17 out of 22 is a solid score. It will get me into the harder version of the digital SAT for Module 2, which gets me in that 600 to 700 range. There's a lot of room for improvement. This is just my first attempt, so hope this helps out a little bit of what I struggled with. It might not be what you struggle with at all, but just my reflection of it.